Ready to level up your career? Text DISH to 44043 now to dive into a world of exciting technician opportunities at DISH. From cutting-edge technology to a supportive work environment, DISH offers the perfect platform for your success. Connect with us today to discover how you can be part of a dynamic team driving innovation. Connect today and join the DISH family, where innovation meets opportunity. Text DISH to 44043 to kickstart your journey towards a rewarding career.
Back here, Sid and Friends in the morning, wrapping up this Tuesday morning. It's really Friday for me. I go on vacation at 10 o'clock this morning. Going to go see Mom in upstate New York, and can't wait to see my mom. And I do love upstate New York, but I love one place maybe even more. Haven't been there since February, but God, did I love it. And that is Israel. And my dear friend, the great actor, the great stand-up comic, he's become Mr. Israel since October the 7th. Michael Rapaport is back in Israel again, and he's calling us live from Israel this morning. Good morning, Michael. How are you, buddy?
Sid, my friend, how are you?
I'm great. So tell me, you're back in Israel. I noticed the last couple of days you hung out with Alex Trayman, my dear friend from JNS.org. You've seen Judah Honickman. You've seen even my producer, Justin Ellick. You're in the same hotel. How is Israel so far?
Well, Israel's, it's fantastic. Obviously it's, there's so much sadness, Sid, and it's 270 days today that the hostages have been in captivity. It's 270 days since October 7th. And, to be honest with you, when I'm here, it's so hard to sort of process how close, but yet how far you are in proximity to these people that have been taken, and then how close you are to their families, and how much, that must play on the psychology and the terror of it all. The spirit is unbreakable. The light is undimming. But there's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of concern. But, there's also, beautiful people of spirit. There's, a lot of, people visiting. The Israeli people, the Jewish people, the citizens of Israel are incredible people. They're, how they say New Yorkers have a thing about us, Israelis have a thing, it's a special thing, and not every place has it. Not every city has it, this unique sort of thing. And these people obviously have it in spades. And, it's been a great trip. So far, I have a bunch more time here. And next week, it's going to be 9 months since this entire mess started.
Right.
So, it's a lot of, ebbs and flows of emotions, of ebbs and flows of emotions. I saw your producer on the beach. He wanted to do a push-up contest with me. I said, I'm just here on the beach. And then and he's like, you look good, without your shirt. I'm like, take it easy. Like, calm down. I know you see me in more formal attire, but just relax. I know, I don't usually, go out. I try to keep the muscles, the pecs, the chest, the pistols. I try to keep them hidden. But he did notice the physique. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I saw it too. I saw the pictures, Mike, and you look like $1 million. Clearly, you're back on the steroids you were taking in when you were filming movies with Omar Epps. One more note on politics before we dive into the NBA. So people keep waiting for Michael Rapaport on this show specifically to finally announce that he is going to vote for a person he's called Dick Stain for years, Donald Trump. And, of course, last Thursday was that debate. I don't care whether you like Joe Biden or not. If you don't admit that was a disaster, then you're not being honest. You saw the debate last Thursday. Did that push you even closer to vote for Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, listen, I've said that I am not voting for Biden. I've said that. I said that to you the last time I was on the show. I've said it publicly. Obviously Biden, it was concerning. I don't care. You could be the biggest fan, his wife, cousin. That was concerning. I personally don't think he's bowing out. I don't think he's stepping down. I don't think it's too late. I don't think he's going to do it. It's honestly, Sid, if and when I make that announcement, obviously I would make that announcement with you. But I'm really, to be totally honest, I'm more concerned about our city. I get overwhelmed with the country and the world, but being a New Yorker and living in New York and seeing, the stuff that continues to go on in the five boroughs is of great concern. And I just wish that the governor would first and foremost, I don't know how long these things, maybe somebody could call in and explain how long it would take to make a mandate where you cannot protest covering your face anymore. Because, I'm afraid, and I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm afraid something bad is going to happen at one of these events, to somebody. And it's not good. It's not good. And it's concerning to me, people getting on trains, with these keffiyeh scarves and screaming and yelling and, people standing up to them. And it's just a mess. It's just a mess. It's not protesting. It's like gang stuff. And it's going to escalate. It's going to escalate into something that everybody regrets. And there's a way to, I think, stop it is because I don't think people will be so bold if they have to show their faces.
Well, the good news is both the governor and the mayor agree with you. So do I. Take the masks off, and these cowards won't do what they're doing. Michael Rapaport live in Israel this morning. Okay, so we touched on Israel. We touched on Trump and Biden. We touched on New York City. But one of the other reasons why you're on this morning, Michael, is you are a big basketball fan, and you're very, very smart when it comes to discussing NBA. It has been a couple of crazy days in the NBA. The Knickerbockers, your team, my team, we got Mikal Bridges from the Nets. That was a big deal. We signed Anunoby, but those two moves made it impossible for the Knicks to retain Isaiah Hartenstein. He gets $87 million to go to Oklahoma City. Your thoughts on the Knicks losing the best center they had last season?
Well, obviously, the Mikal Bridges signing is humongous, and the OG signing, and that crew that's a crew, I'm excited about it. I love that all those guys really want to be Knicks. I love that they really enjoy playing with each other. That chemistry, you can't pay for it, you can't force it. It just either happens or it doesn't happen, and obviously it happened. So that's a big deal. And I couldn't be more excited about, a Knicks off season heading into, a new season. Isaiah Hartenstein, who has one of the most Jewish names but isn't Jewish.
It's like my old buddy Bernie Kosar, the quarterback for the Browns, not Jewish either.
And had a fantastic Jew fro, Bernie Kosar. I mean, that was a beautiful head of hair. I mean, did he not have a beautiful head of hair?
He did. He did. Yes, he did.
Gorgeous. But I will say, Hartenstein is not easy to replace. The offensive rebounds, his rebounding motor and his nose for the ball and finding and getting big rebounds at big times throughout his stay in New York and throughout the playoffs and throughout those big moments and those big games. That's not something that's easy to replace. Obviously, they'll get a big body in there, but that intangible thing to find the ball, to be able to go after the ball when your team needs the ball, especially on the offensive end, it's not easy to replace. And, it's a stat that doesn't get much talked about. It doesn't get much discussion, but he really got some big offensive rebounds and kicked it back out to Julius or kicked it back out to Jalen or kicked it back out to whoever or put it back up himself. And that's something that I wish we were able to sign him, but obviously the money's crazy and all that stuff. But I'm a little bit concerned about being able to replace that thing that he had, that motor and that determination to get rebounds at crunch times. That being said, it's been a good offseason. It's been a good draft. And now we have to pivot. We're going to take a break, and we head into my fantasy football world, which is insane. And then, of course, we go into the NFL, which is, going to be exciting. And New York sports are good. It's always a fun time of year. to get ready for football season, and especially with the Knicks having such a good playoff run and a good offseason. Now we need to get a good medical staff to keep everybody healthy going into next year.
Especially on the Knicks, that's right. And the Jets, of course, hopefully their quarterback can stay healthy. One more on the NBA before we wrap this up, and that is the Knicks, after all these moves, everybody seemed to think that they almost caught up to Boston. Maybe they did catch Boston. But the 76ers made a very bold move a couple of days ago, bringing in Paul George. Now with the trio of Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey, that is a very, very good trio with Philadelphia. So we're talking a lot about the Celtics and the Knicks, but are we sleeping on the 76ers?
We're not sleeping on the 76ers. That team is going to be good. You know, they also need pieces. It's exciting for our conference to have three prominent teams. And, you know, Orlando is no joke. They're young. You know, it's good for the NBA. It's good for the world that the Eastern Conference is back to being strong. These are rivalries that go back to the beginning of the NBA. But, yeah, you know, if you get all those teams, those three teams with all those guys being healthy, you have some serious basketball. And obviously Boston's the champs. They won it easily. But, you know, I personally think if the Knicks are healthy, I think we could beat both those teams. I think that if the Knicks were healthy, we could have beaten Boston this year. We gave them problems during the regular season. But that's if, coulda, shoulda, woulda. The Celtics were the champions. They persevered. They stayed healthy. They went through injuries, and they won the chip. The Knicks have to do it also. But I think it's a step in the right direction. And, you know, just as an NBA fan, because as much as I love the Knicks, I love the NBA, and I love the NBA and the Eastern Conference to be great. So to have those three teams, you know, have big names and big stars, it's going to be a lot of competition, and I think it'll be just fun for everybody. And it's important that the conference is great. You can't, you know, rule out the other teams, Milwaukee, Indiana, and like I said, Orlando is no joke also.
Michael, it is great to catch up with you this morning. Have a safe and a wonderful trip to Israel. Every time you go back there, Mike, you're representing all of us, especially me right here in New York City. So have a great time. We love you. Great conversation this morning, and we'll see you and talk to you again very soon. Be safe, Michael Rapaport. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, Sid. And free, pray for the hostages, everybody. Pray, beg, plead, scream, do everything you can for the hostages.
Yeah, by the way, one hostage note, Michael, Noah Argamani, her mom died yesterday.
I know, I heard.
Yeah,
I heard.
that was
Very,
sad.
very sad.
Well, go out there and keep doing what you're doing, man. You become the maybe the strongest voice of all for the Jewish people. We love you for that. Thank you, Michael.
All right, I love you, Sid. I'll talk to you later.
Love you, too. There he is, a great actor, great comedian, and great sports guy, too. Great. His fantasy football league is terrific. His basketball knowledge at the very, very top of the list. I'm proud to call him a dear friend, the great Michael Rapaport, live in Israel this morning.
Janine Pirro here for Colonial Metals Group. Colonial Metals Group helps Americans protect their future with the most trusted store of wealth in human history, physical gold and silver. If you're retiring or retired, go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Pirro for your free Janine Pirro Colonial Metals Group Retirement Protection Kit, or call 800-965-8004. 800-965-8004 now to receive a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver.